one of the things that I often tell my clients, because courage is required to lead. And when we're talking about transformation, there's often a bit of unknown, which, creates fear. You have to have the courage to lean in. And so one of my own personal mantras is, I'm not intimidated by what I don't know. I'm not intimidated because I know my ability to know. And so that allows me to do exactly what you said, to be able to say, yeah, I don't know about this thing, or I haven't done it before. But in many ways, that's the excitement of the opportunity. I have an opportunity to go learn more, to go expand and test my own skills and competencies, in new arenas. And so anyway, that sort of aligns with what you were talking about in making that distinction between men and women. I think if I were to just off the top of my head think about what causes women to hold back when those opportunities are being presented, or to not see the opportunity, I think it comes down to a priority and a preference of competency, of getting it right, and not knowing that they can get it right often prevents them from moving forward. And so I think, again, it comes down to this idea. Courage may be the wrong word in this case. It may just be confidence in yourself, in your own ability to learn and gain the skills that are needed.
I love that you're making that distinction because women are almost always courageous. I mean, we always have been, but confidence is a different dynamic. And I think you're so right. That's the distinction. And I can speak from my direct experience. I don't want to be empirical, but I will say, in my experience, the challenge for women is the suffering from imposter syndrome. And I know there are two schools of thought, and there are a lot of arguments over whether or not this exists. But I will say I had it early in my career, so I know it exists. And the challenge is when women are invited or find themselves in certain rooms, they question whether or not they belong there. They start questioning themselves. Do I have enough skills? Do I have enough experience? I haven't been here long enough. Does everybody in the room know more than me? And all these voices, these negative voices, are playing in our heads, and it impedes with our ability to say yes in the moment you need to say yes. When Elon asked me that question, this was not something I was going to be able to go home and think about, or can I phone a friend? In that moment, in that second, I had to have confidence in my abilities to say yes in that moment. And also, what helped was, I'm sort of threading the needle here. What also helped was I was so self-centered on my career up until that point that it was all about me. This was an opportunity to look beyond myself and say, okay, Valerie, it's time to give back. There are 44,000 people in this company, and you may not be able to do everything. You may only be able to do one thing, but you can pivot your career to look beyond yourself. So I will say, now women don't suffer from that part. We are always giving and we're always doing, but the willingness to say, yes, I can do this thing that I haven't done before. And yes, I have the confidence myself that I can do that. And think about this for a moment. When I took that role, the entire company knew me as head of compliance. So can you imagine the detractors, the naysayers, the people in HR who were thinking, well, wait a minute. Yeah, she's a great lawyer and she's great but what is she doing leading? So there were several people I had to win over. So you think about that moment when you're offered that opportunity. Do I want to suffer from people thinking I don't belong? Or what are people going to say? I haven't been in HR for 10 years. Should I not take all those things? But because I had vanquished those voices years ago, I did not hesitate to say yes in that moment. So, and I talk about imposter syndrome in my book, but that's what typically keeps women from saying yes to things they haven't done before, is the feeling that they have to be perfect in order to say yes. So not true.